All right. Well, I do believe we are going live here on YouTube. That's my hope anyway. And hoping that's the case because we got a pretty big show for you tonight. We've got Bobby Bless with us. We've got Reggie Funches with us. We also have Nate Rucker as well. And as we normally do here on the Hunt podcast, we're going to ask you to like this video, comment on this video, and hit that subscribe button for us as we try to continue to do these YouTube lives. That way folks can interact with us. So please make sure you do that. And with that, I want to turn it over to the number one Lions fan, Mr. Bobby Bless. Bobby, how's it going today, my friend?
Man, good afternoon, everybody. It's going good, man. Nice weather in Toledo. You probably can't tell with my damn curtains closed, but yeah, man. Just going through the motions. Glad to talk to you guys, man, because during the off season, there ain't nobody really to talk Lions football with. But it ain't better than talking with my brothers anyway. So I'm doing good, Elijah. How about you, brother?
I am doing very well, just doing my part here to make sure I share all of these links. There's got to be an easier way to do this, and I'm sure there is, but I just haven't figured it out yet. To tag everybody on all of our different social medias at one time. Sure, like I said, I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just have not figured that out yet. But while I'm doing that, which is not very entertaining, let's turn it over to somebody who we know is very entertaining, Mr. Reggie Funches. Reggie, how's it going today, my friend?
Slow motion. Definitely beats no motion.
Now, Reggie, you've been telling everybody or wanting to tell everybody how they make you feel. Is that still the case right now?
The way you're making me feel.
What?
It really turns me on.
That's right. That's right. Nate Rucker, how's it going, my friend?
I feel good. I know.
James Brown.
No, man, I'm good. Welcome to get another. Who would have thought, man? We'll be on episode 34. So just want to give people a reminder, man. Make sure that y'all join our community. Make sure y'all subscribe. Y'all might see us, but if you're not in the community, that means that you're not subscribed, man. So you'll get the updates on our shows, on the movies, the updates, everything, y'all. So join that community. Don't miss out.
Now, we have got a jam-packed show as far as Lions news is concerned. Obviously, rookie minicamp happened not that long ago, and Reggie Funches, there has been already a standout, but it might not be two of the names that everybody's been talking about, Hendon Hooker, Jahmyr Gibbs. It's actually somebody else that's catching folks' eye. Who is it, and what should we know about this fella?
So the reports coming out of rookie minicamp is that Laporta is the rookie that's killing it right now. And they said it's by a wide margin. They said he was catching passes over the middle in traffic, toe tapping on the sideline. So essentially, Laporta is basically showing out, showing why he went where he went and why he went ahead of some of the tight ends felt should have ahead of him. But once again, this is why we are commentating, and then you got guys like Brad Holmes that's making decision making, and this is why we just got to sit back and just watch, these players emerge and do what they got to do. One thing that they said that Laporta is showing is his versatility. They said they use him as an inline tight end with his hand in the dirt, and then they also sent him out to wide receiver. And they said, of course, this is something that he did at Iowa. And so they say expect more of that in Detroit. Another, of course, the second best player is the guy on the other side of football, another Iowa Hawkeye, which was Jack Campbell. So between the two of them, shoring up two spots on the offense and the defense, man, is of course what we needed. And everybody that was, pissed off that Campbell went where he went, it's all about production. And I want to stress that. It has nothing to do about where you got drafted. It has everything to do with what production you have on Sundays or Thursdays and the occasional Saturday.
Now, Reggie, quick question. As far as this, the situation with Sam Laporta and Jack Campbell, this is where I don't know a ton about this particular part of the process for an NFL team. But is it set up so that linebackers and tight ends would actually be more successful than other positions during this rookie minicamp? Because it's only a couple days. I do know that. It's only a couple days. They come in. I'm not really sure what type of drills they do, but is it set up for, a tight end or a linebacker to have a little more success than a running back and a quarterback?
Well, actually, skill positions tend to be the ones that show out the most, specifically because they're skill positions. Like you think about, how much technical skill goes behind those positions. And then you got somebody that's got a high IQ, he's already going to come in ahead of the curve. And that means a lot for us hearing that it's coming out of Laporta and also Jack Campbell. Jack Campbell, this is the guy that you want in the middle of your defense, controlling the defense, getting everybody where they need to go. In order to do that, he's got to have a high IQ. And if you have a tight end like Laporta who can show his versatility, who can, give the defense different looks and be productive out of those looks, and then turn around and still be able to block, then, like I said, that puts him ahead of the curve. So hearing that it's those two players that are showing out, it's to our benefit.
One more question from me, then I'm going to toss it over to Bobby in case he's got any thoughts on this topic. And I also want to toss it to Nate after Bobby. So when it comes to expectations, number one, should folks be freaking out about the fact that it was not Jahmyr Gibbs that was catching everybody's eye? Or should we look at it and say, well, we expected him to catch eyes. So the fact that he came in and, did what he was supposed to do, that's why we're not talking about him more. What do you think, Reggie?
So when it comes to Jahmyr Gibbs, the only reason you're not hearing about him right now is because he had a minor foot injury. That's why he wasn't playing in that minicamp. So they want to put that out there. Oh, why am I not hearing about Jahmyr Gibbs? He was the first player that came off. It has nothing to do with that. They're trying to, keep the kid healthy. To think that he won't have an impact this year or have a chance to make an impact, it's not smart to think that way. The kids will get every opportunity to show out because, once again, he has the skill set. He brings something that we need, which is more speed, and he's extremely talented. And that's the other aspect of it that we tend to overlook as well. I made this statement in our Alliance group. If you don't pay attention to where they were drafted and pay attention to who was drafted, you see the talent that was brought on this team from top to bottom. And that's what matters.
Well, us as Lions fans, though, we're the most rational and cool-headed fan base that has ever existed. Note the sarcasm, because I guarantee you, after what you just said about Campbell and what you said about Laporta, there will be somebody out there who's going to get themselves a Stupid Boy of the Week award because they're going to go out there and start slandering Jahmyr Gibbs and these other guys saying, well, they weren't talked about, so therefore they're not very good. But we'll see.
You already know we love having receipts. We love receipts.
We're like CVS. We got a long ass receipt anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Bless, what do you think?
I'm glad it's positive, but it really means nothing to me because them boys not hitting. You can do a lot of that stuff when you ain't got to worry about getting hit. So to be continued. I'm glad to hear it ain't negative though. That's it on that one. I don't even really care until they get them pads on.
Nate Rucker, your thoughts on rookie minicamp? You'll have to unmute, my friend.
Well, as people know, first of all, don't pay attention to the hat because I do keep receipts. If y'all don't know, I wear a lot of different hats. I'm just a friend. I'm just a color guy. Don't
you ain't
worry
Bobby
about
Bless. Bobby Bless wear Lions hats only. You ain't me. You your own person.
But again, there's no pads on. There's no veterans. It's rookie minicamp. So you can make a big fuss out of it, or you cannot, or you just say, "Hey, it's just rookie minicamp." I mean, because truthfully, you know what Jack Campbell did, all that. Keep in mind, he did this without Rodrigo being next. He wasn't on the field with Rodrigo, wasn't on the field with Anzalone, wasn't on the field with the regular defense. The same thing with Laporta. So he wasn't out there against the number one defense, y'all. So yeah, it's good to be excited, but remember, it's rookie minicamp. Rookie. So don't take it and fly to the fucking moon with it, y'all. Just take it as it go. And like Bobby say, hey, don't let it move you like that. Wait till they get the pads on.
Now, Nate, you know, I do have to ask you, and this is a question for everybody, but I'm gonna start with Nate since we got him on the screen.
Uh,
Do you feel, and I'm not sure if you watched any of the interviews after rookie minicamp or not, Nate, 'cause
I
know
did.
there's a lot of stuff going on, but
Mhm.
it feels to me like Detroit media is trying to push the issue when it comes to Hendon Hooker, Jared Goff. And like the way I look at it is this is not a quarterback competition, but because we drafted a quarterback, that's all they want to talk about. And I know I'm like the guy leading that whole train, so I get that. But I also have said on more than one occasion, Hendon Hooker is not winning the job over Jared Goff this year. That's not what I think is happening. I think he's got to learn, and then maybe in the future, he is the guy of the future. But it feels like Detroit media, when they got a chance to talk to Hendon, that's all they wanted to do was try to get a soundbite that they can use to say, look what he said about Jared Goff. What do you think about that? Am I wrong in that assumption, or?
No, you are correct. You have to think about it. Let's be honest. When was the last time Detroit Lions drafted a quarterback? Let alone a quarterback that high. Even the third round, you know, to me, no, isn't overly high, but think about it. Third round, second round. The last quarterback we drafted, truthfully, that had any type of potential, any type of playing experience was Charlie Batch. So the media, they're going to take it and run with it. A lot of people feel that Jared Goff isn't the guy for the job. They look at Hendon Hooker's skill set. They look at, truthfully, the way that the quarterbacking has been done in the NFL. You're talking about one guy who has a big arm, who also has the ability to run. Jared Goff is a precision passer. You know, get where you be, I will make sure the ball's there. So it's one of those things. But as our GM has said, it's going to be a red shirt year for Hendon Hooker, people. Don't get sucked in with the bullshit. I'm just saying. They said it's a red shirt year. Unless something catastrophic happens, Jared Goff is out for the year. Even if Jared Goff goes out, Nate Sudfeld is going to be the next guy, unless Nate Sudfeld gets hurt. And truthfully, who knows? They may bring in another guy. Like, Hendon's coming off of ACL. They don't want to play him at all. Truthfully, they don't. So, I mean, I wouldn't worry about it. So, to the media and all that, like, hey, stop starting BS. We know that's how you get your sound bites. We know that's what y'all do. But leave our team alone.
And to be honest, that's why I think it's prudent. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's been picked up. But bringing in somebody like that, somebody that could be a viable replacement, because is Nate Sudfeld a viable replacement?
No.
We don't know. Like, let's be fair to Sudfeld.
Hey, Sudfeld's ass.
Sudfeld is not. Listen,
we're not even about to do that. Sudfeld's ass.
Sudfeld has the meanest handoff in the league.
I didn't see that either.
But I will say, put it like this: we don't even know if the kid is healthy yet to even speak on him in that fashion, to even throw him in a conversation. Let the kid get healthy first.
Yeah.
And so I will be. I understand that the expectations are higher right now. Those expectations do sit on Goff's shoulders. If Goff gets hurt, and we have a winning record when it happens, it ain't gonna be Nate Sudfeld running this offense. They're gonna go try to get somebody.
Well, see, and I guess that's the part that gets me because, like, and I want to bring Bobby in on this because Bobby has been the Jared Goff defender for as long as I've known this man. But here's what gets me, okay? If a team has success in the regular season, and maybe it's a team that has success for the first time in a while, the next year when the expectations are high, part of the reason why they're high is because of good quarterback play. And you don't hear folks on ESPN or any of these other places talking about this hypothetical player that I'm proposing saying, we can't wait for him to not have a job. Because usually they say, hey, there's high expectations. That means there's a good quarterback there. That's not where the story is. But yet with Jared Goff, even when he is playing well, people don't like him. I don't understand that. Bobby, do you feel the same way?
Before Bobby say anything, he defends Goff as long as he's not wearing gloves.
Exactly.
Let's clarify that.
Hey, my brother Reggie is exactly right. That is the misnomer. You should put that. I wish we could write that under there while I'm talking. As long as this man ain't wearing gloves. But to be honest, like Elijah said, everybody know I'm the biggest Jared Goff supporter on this show, but I also want to. So the quarterback position is just mesmerizing. You can just put and everybody, like they say in sports, the backup quarterback is always the fan favorite. So they know in the Detroit media that that quarterback, Detroit Lions quarterback topic is always going to beat clickbait. But the part I want to talk about is that's why it's good to have a game manager at quarterback now, because you don't need the quarterback to be the superstar. So if something, knock on wood, was to happen to Jared Goff, we can put another game manager in his position and continue to do the things around that. The team wouldn't have to do too much different. It wouldn't be too much of a change having game manager at quarterback. That's why the gunslinger mentality, the quarterback got to save you at the end of the game. If that quarterback gets injured, it brings a whole nother dimension that you have to try to recover from when you get that devastating injury from your quarterback. Because let's be honest, if the starter quarterback go down, the damn backup was the backup for a reason. So you ain't too much faith in that anyway. So if you can just lessen the pain of having to replace that position by having a game manager such as Jared Goff, and then you can bring in a Teddy Bridgewater that is competent enough to throw it to the open man or the primary receiver and not force things, and let the running game and let the defense, if we can get that, because the offense don't always have to be led by the quarterback doing magical things. You just follow the damn plan and let the game come to you, kind of thing. So that's a good thing as far as having a game manager at quarterback. But hey, Hendon Hooker, that guy. So if Jared Goff has a lot of has a lot to prove to keep this man from getting your job. I like it. I wanted it to be similar to when we had Stafford. If we had a guy that was able to replace him, maybe that would have enhanced his play. So I'm down with the quarterback, the backup quarterback being good enough to start, because you only good as your backup tire. So what the hell? That's it, really, Elijah.
So one thing that I did want to work in before we move on to our main subject, and by the way, we do have somebody commenting, so thank you for that. Comedian Shay B says, as long as he's not wearing gloves, laughing emoji. Yeah, that's right. We don't like.
Hey Shay, I ain't messing with them gloves, man. I think that's, in my demented way of thinking, I think that's really the reason why we didn't make the playoffs. But I digress.
Listen, Bobby puts a whole new meaning on no glove, no love. Anyway,
Elijah, I swear, man. I was, man. I was pulling the finger up at you, dude. I had to stop myself.
I don't think I know is I came back on no glove, no love.
Yeah, he an asshole, man. Oh my God.
Hey, all right. So hey,
We
so
was talking about Jared Goff, Nate, and then he got the going. Nate Randy started it.
Hey, you
for
know
real.
how we are. This is a judgment-free zone. Hey, you know.
You stupid as hell. Hey, Randy started it though, man. You ain't right, Randy.
the way you make me feel. Anyway,
The
so
way you making me feel.
Here we go. That's how the hooker conversations went.
that's right. We got hookers.
Oh,
Listen, we are a special place. We got hookers that work on Sundays now in Detroit. Look out. So anyway, it ain't like Chick-fil-A. They open 7 days. Anyway, so let's
I am not participating in this conversation.
I'm leaving it alone.
So
are we supposed to be PG-13?
Nah, fuck it. Anyway, so we got
Well,
so let's get back to Hendon Hooker here for just a moment. So one thing that I will say that I was very impressed with was how he handled all of those questions. Like we just talked about it, they were trying to bait him into it and he wasn't taking the bait. Same thing with Jahmyr Gibbs. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, they asked him like, well, all these people got opinions on where you were drafted. And he's like, yeah, I don't really pay attention to that. They're entitled to their opinion. And I just looked at that and I went, you know what? Like that to me says a lot about these rookies, because I'm sure all of the rookies are like that we drafted. But Jahmyr and Hendon, if they're an example, we're in good hands because they're not going to take that bait that gets thrown out there. So
yeah, look at it. Hendon Hooker's fucking 10 years younger than me. And then I'm lying. I'm 43, guys. I'm lying. So Hendon Hooker's 45. And then, I'm pretty sure that everybody at the University of Alabama has PR class. So Nick Saban has taught these guys how to conduct a proper interview. What to say, what not to say, what type of words to use, your verbiage, your voice dilation, everything. I'm pretty sure that's been covered. So, again, and then they all come from good coaching, very good coaching backgrounds, very well-grounded, strong foundations. So, I truly wouldn't expect anything less at all.
now we do have a big subject to get to today, so let's go ahead and hop into that subject. That is the schedule that came out. Obviously, a lot of folks are excited about that, myself included. And well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through week 1 all the way down through week 18. We're probably not going to spend a ton of time on each game, so be mindful of that. But if you were with us last season on the show, then when it's game week, you're going to get all the content about that game that you can handle. Okay. But for right now, we just want to make sure that everybody's got the schedule. I'm sure you do, but let's do some brief thoughts on each game. I'm going to go in order of what I see in front of me here on the screen, which would mean Bobby, Nate, Reggie. And I know Reggie's got to go at 6:55 tonight, so we'll try to get as many games in as we can before Reggie has to leave us. But let's start off with week number 1. At the Kansas City Chiefs. It is the first game of the NFL regular season. The first game, not on the opening weekend. No. The first game. I was very excited about that. And it's kind of funny because I was talking about Kansas City and Detroit for Thanksgiving and how I thought that would be a fun game. And then all of a sudden, we're going to get them week 1 at Arrowhead. I'm excited about it. I wish Jameson Williams was going to be out there for that game, but I don't necessarily think we need Jameson to win that game, and I'm feeling it. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one, but I think we can win that game, and I don't think it's going to come as a shock as much as a lot of people are saying it is. Bobby, what do you think?
I think that secondary, we put a lot of money into it, right? You know how when you buy a new car, Elijah, first thing you want to do, get on the expressway to see what this really do. We putting this secondary on expressway to week 1. So we're gonna see what we got for sure. Because it's one thing to say we improved the secondary, but it's another thing to see the secondary improve against Pat Mahomes. So I'm a fan of it. I'm happy. It seems like the NFL is embracing that the Lions are actually going to be good or a contender at this thing. So that's a good thing. But the main thing is we got this. I want to see how Dan Campbell and Glenn and even Ben Johnson prepare for this game that we know that's going to be weeks before. You know what I mean? So it's important to see how their game plan, because it can't be mediocre. It cannot be mediocre on either side of the ball, because they had well enough time to plan for this. So all of the training and training camp and installs and stuff should be for this game, for we can hit this game running. I mean, hit this team running. Because, like Dan Campbell said, if we get blew out, we didn't belong. Period. I think me and Nate talked about that the other day on our live. So I'm a roll with that, Elijah.
Nate, what do you think?
Well, it's one of them things. Like you say, hey, and what Dan Campbell said was true. You know, the media has two outlooks when you're talking about this type of game. If we win, then yes, the Lions. There is no hype. The Lions are good. There's no longer the bottom of the barrel, same old Lions. We get blew out. Guess what? We moved too fast. The Lions weren't supposed to be here. They're not ready yet. They're the same old Lions. There is no in between. Hold on, y'all. Stop. Go upstairs. But to me,
he's talking to his puppy, by the way.
Sorry, y'all. Yeah, I'm talking to my puppy.
Like, what?
One thing that's going to really dictate this game is going to be how this offensive line handles one of the premier defensive tackles in the league, go upstairs. Well,
I'm talking to my niece like that.
dog, she's totally made me forget with Chris. What's the hell is his name?
Chris Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones. So, and the reason being is because they move him all along the line. He doesn't just stay at the 3 technique. He literally goes right in, left in, nose tackle, under tackle. They use him in bull rush. They also use him as a QB spy because of his lateral movement. So he'll drop from the line and actually stay within 4 yards of the line of scrimmage to spy the quarterback. Even though we know Jared Goff isn't running nowhere, I don't think he can be the old lady in the hover around in the Kroger store. But
Roomba.
we know he's not running. But I'm just saying that's the way that they use him. So it's going to be very, very important, especially with the report that was put out that we talked about in our meeting about Frank Ragnow's toe. So it's going to be very, very important because pushing, pulling, battling this guy, you have to be 100%.
You're going to shoot me in my pinky toe.
Unfortunately, it's the big toe. So we know when you're talking about a big toe injury, that has a lot to do with your leverage. That has a lot to do with, you being upright, your balance, all of that. So it's very, very important. So, like I say, that's to me is going to be huge. And then baptism by fire. You get thrown in against the number 1 tight end in all of football and Travis Kelce right off the bat, whether it's Rodrigo, whether it's Jack Campbell, whoever. Tracy Walker coming back from ACL, Kirby Joseph sitting over the top. You guys are going to be baptized. So be ready, pay attention, study film, because it's the opening night. Like the whole world is going to be looking at us. They're going to look and see, are we going to get blown out? Are we going to give up 50? Is Mahomes going to go for 6 touchdowns? We're not going to be the talk. It's going to be how many points does he put up? So I'm with it.
So here's my question, Nate. And actually, this is Nate and Reggie. I'm gonna pose this question to. I don't know very many people in sports where a body part of theirs is what gets talked about every time they make a mistake. But I got a feeling that every single time Ragnow false starts this upcoming season, people are gonna be cursing out that toe. Reggie, would you agree with that, Reggie, as we close out this conversation on Kansas City?
Toes and ankles, man. Toes and ankles. But, yeah. Honestly, bro, I'm thinking at this game. First, I'm gonna say it's gonna shoot up. Hey, shoot up. Hey. But I'm thinking about that our first game from last year. Philadelphia. We lost that game by 3. And our biggest issue was we could not contain Jalen Hurts. Now, Mahomes doesn't run as much as Hurts, but he can hurt you if he runs.
Yeah,
and
I'm about to go now. I just couldn't.
That's the aspect that Mahomes brings, and it can hurt any defense, even if you did beef up your secondary. So I think it's going to be a shootout, but I also think this is a game that they can win because I believe that they can score with them. So
Okay.
it's really going to come down to possessions and who gets stops first. And if this defense improves as much as we hope they did, and I ain't talking about top 10, but top 15, and the offense stayed the way it was last year, they could beat Kansas City. It really is no team that they can't beat. It's just going to come down to timely stops, timely plays, and who's going to get the ball last sometimes. So I think it's going to be a shootout.
Okay. So I'm personally thinking that how we win this game, and again, I don't want to give a ton of analysis here, but why I feel confident is because we have one of the best, if not the best, offensive lines in the league. We've got David Montgomery. We've got Jahmyr Gibbs. As long as our running game is doing what it's supposed to do that night in Kansas City, Pat Mahomes, yeah, he's going to get on the field, but he's not going to be on the field for a very long, prolonged period of time. So as long as we play keep away and we score when we have opportunities to score, I could see us winning that game and not really having to work too hard for it. That's just kind of how I feel. Maybe I'm crazy, but do want to let you guys know Tim Darga has noticed the Baltimore Ravens hat, and he has said, come on now, you got to wear a Lions hat for the Lions podcast. So want to let Tim know that we did see that comment. By the way, we got about 5 people watching right now, which is awesome. Thank you for that. Do me a favor, hit that like button for us. That way we can hopefully get out there to even more people tonight as we continue down this list here. Hit that like button for us. And if you have not subscribed, please make sure to do so, because it won't be long before we start giving away things again. And I know that is what a lot of people tune in for, to see what type of things they can get their hands on. So let's move on to this next game here. It is one that I think earned me a lot of respect in the eyes of the fellows last season. And that was when the Seahawks came to town. And I told you.
Oh, you want to call that? I wouldn't call that no damn respect.
Right, that ain't give you no goddamn respect. They got you. I'm sorry, pardon our French. They got you cussed the hell out is what the fuck it did.
So,
Elijah, boy, you know you start shit.
Back-to-back years, the Seahawks come to Detroit. Will this year be any different?
Oh, we owe them a beating. We owe them a beating.
Okay, all right. That's what Reggie thinks. Reggie says we owe them a beating. Bobby, what do you think?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. That's one of the games. You know how people always say, "Oh, I circled this game." That's one of them for sure.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Ain't no love being shown with this one. Yeah, we might have beat the Packers for you last year. Ain't none of that popping off this year. We owe y'all.
Hey,
Oh, y'all
what
throwback.
Reggie said. What Reggie
Right.
said.
We didn't
That
even make it to the goddamn playoffs because of them. Fuck that
40.
damn season.
42-17.
That's what you're predicting? 42-17?
Dang. He went there.
So all I
guess
gotta say, and I know I'm gonna get heat for this, but you know
Nope.
what?
Nope.
It's true.
Nope.
It's true. Listen,
Nope.
Here we go with the bullshit.
every good movie deserves a sequel. So for me, I would say after the Chiefs game, okay, if we win that game, the Seahawks game is a trap game. Because our guys
No,
will
the
be
hell they ain't.
so
They
high
better not
after
even be
beating
that.
Kansas City. They better be focused. That's all I'm going to say. They better be focused. I think they will be. I think we'll get
They
that
better
victory.
want revenge on
But
them in
I
Carolina.
do not think it's going to be a beatdown. I really don't. I think the Seahawks are
I
going
don't
to be a
think.
pretty good team this year. But I think we'll get the win as long as we take them more seriously than we did last year. We'll see. We'll see. And I don't know the record on it. Maybe our numbers guy, he probably doesn't have time to look it up right now. But I'm curious, in Dan Campbell's coaching career, how has he done against teams the second time around if they've won the first game against him? I would be curious to find that out. I do want to go to week 3 here. It's going to be
I mean, we can look at our.
Okay, yeah.
My bad, y'all.
Nate breaking up.
It sounded robotic because he's
I'll
driving.
give it to y'all
right
later,
now.
fellas.
Okay. All right, Reggie, we appreciate it. But yeah, that would be a number that I think we should look up in the future is how has Dan Campbell and company done the second time they played a team after losing to them the first time? I'd like to think that's going to be a good number for the Lions, but I don't know. I don't know exactly. But let's get on to week 3 here. The Falcons come to town. Obviously, the whole thing is going to be about Bijan Robinson and how does he look for the Atlanta Falcons? My question for Bobby Bless. Bobby, how do you feel about this Atlanta Falcons game?
Well, honestly, I think this is a game we're supposed to win. You know, the certain when you look at that schedule before it even start, Atlanta is a game I'm counting as a win. It'll probably be. I don't know what storyline is going to be important at the time, so I don't want to even go there. But I know if we the team that we think we are, that we supposed to be, we beat Atlanta and we beat them pretty handily. So I'm gonna just go on the ledge and say I'm gonna put a W on that one. But we better win. And I'm not gonna say that through this whole damn schedule, but Atlanta ain't a team that I'm counting as a win, so they better win. How you feel, brother? Because that used to be your team, right? Or Michael
That
Vick.
used to be where I live. That was never my team.
You was Michael
but,
Vick fan. You was a Michael Vick fan.
Yeah, I think at one point we all were. I mean, really. But
yeah, for sure.
But as far as the Falcons are concerned, they to me, how do I put this? Last year I was high on the Seahawks when no one else was. I would say this year I'm high on the Falcons, and it doesn't seem like a lot of other people are, and I get it because the Atlanta franchises always let things down. I know, but I'm looking at it, and the way that they're being talked about reminds me of the way that the Dolphins were talked about when they had Ricky Williams, because it was always about Ricky. It was never about anybody else in the team. It was always about Ricky Williams. If Ricky's having a good game, the Dolphins are going to have a good game. And that's how people are talking about the Falcons. But then I have to stop for a second and say, wait a minute now. They have Drake London. They've got Kyle Pitts. It's not like they're completely deprived of anything else. And if they can just get those puzzle pieces on the field at the same time with a game manager quarterback in Desmond Ridder, they might actually be worth a damn offensively. And I will say, we made Desmond Ridder look like a star in the preseason. I don't know if y'all remember that.
I do.
He just hacked it up there and ended up getting a touchdown at the end and broke our freaking heart. But Desmond Ridder was also pretty good at Cincinnati, but it's like nobody respects him either. So I just feel like the Falcons might be that team this year that surprises some folks. I'm not saying they're going to win a playoff game or nothing like that, but they play in a crappy division. And right now, all they're getting is just everybody's disrespect because everybody's acting like if you shut down Bijan, there's nothing there. And I just feel like that's a dangerous way to think.
Yeah, because they got the Pitts kid too at tight end. He's not a slouch out there. So and then they still got if I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. They still got Cordero Patterson too, and he's always somebody that needs to be on the chalkboard in the game plan. I don't care who he play with. He could play for the damn Toledo Rockets. If Patterson is on that damn, I don't care if he's 50 years old. If he out there, you need to have him accounted for.
And he is still on that roster. So that's another player I wasn't even thinking of. But yeah, I mean, like they do have some weapons over there. I think we got more, and I do think we should win this game. I'm just saying though, Lions fans, don't be going into this thing thinking, oh, Atlanta, come on now, automatic win. Like one thing being confident, another thing being cocky. I think we all know that. Nate, what do you think about the Falcons game? It's in Detroit. What do you think?
I think we should win, but it's not going to be as easy as we think. You know, they have a very, very young and experienced secondary. I'm not even going to say inexperienced. Remember now, everybody's favorite love child is back in Atlanta. You've got Jeff Okudah right across from AJ Terrell. So that they're going to be looking to free a lot of press so that they can focus in on that pass rush. So I think that's going to be huge, but containing Desmond Ridder, don't let him run around. If that's what you do, then the game should be very, very easy. Again, they really don't. They don't have anything sexy on that side. You know, they're in the piss poor division. So we should literally be able to go and paint their goalposts and leave without no problem.
So let's move on. Let's move on to week 4 here as we're trying to pick up a little speed because I know Bobby would like to watch the NBA game that's coming up. I know he would. I know he would. So at the Packers week 4, Thursday night football. First thing that I love about this, we're getting this damn trip to Lambeau out of the way before the weather gets too cold. I love that. I love that. Now, Bobby, I got to tell you, all this talk about Jordan Love, I've never really been a huge fan of Jordan Love. I think they should have made a decision on him. But my thing with him was he threw way too many interceptions in college, and he has yet to show that he has fixed that problem where for every touchdown, he throws an interception. So for me, I'm looking at this game like we should win this game. No doubt about it, we should win this game. This is the one where I'm cocky about it. My question is, you live in a Green Bay, Detroit Lions household. How are you feeling about it, Bobby Bless?
Well, I'm glad you said that, but I'm not. I'm going to just say a few things, but I'm going to try to put this up. Maybe we can see this. Okay. But I love that. Me and my wife, we have so much fun when the Lions play the Packers, man. So I'm just can't wait to see what we're going to eat, what we're going to be doing. We order a cake, and we just have a ball. So I don't really want to speak on the game itself, but I also just throw out signs if you get my drift on how I really feel about it. So
we know you can't say it out loud. It's okay.
I should put help somewhere, but oh Lord, she came got me.
Y'all keep sweeping out this year.
There she goes. Uh-oh.
Get it out your head.
See?
She about to turn out the internet. You better look out.
Hey, the only thing I know, I seen Bobby look up like, oh Lord.
Hey, remember the movie Wiz where Richard Pryor, they found out Richard Pryor was the one running that he wasn't really the Wiz and stuff. That's how I just felt. But anyway.
That was fun.
Yeah, but you already know.
I will say, even though this is not a Packers podcast, nor will it ever be, but I do find it kind of funny, though, like the conversation about the Packers pre-draft and post-draft. Seems like analysts are doing whatever they can to talk about this team, but they don't really know what they feel about this team. Because some folks are saying it's a rebuild year for the Packers. Other people are saying, well, it's not a complete, home renovation. They're just repainting the kitchen. And I'm like, can y'all just make up your minds as to whether or not you like this team or not? And I'm talking about the big Sports Center analysts, Colin Cowherd.
I think the Packers is going to be a run-heavy team, to be honest with you. It's
Aaron
going to do a
Jones.
lot of running. Yeah, because, he could be a receiver and a running back. So, you know what I mean? I think they're going to probably feature him a lot more than they did. And hopefully Jordan Love and them young receivers can just get a connection. But I don't see it this year one. By week 4, they're not going to be ready.
We'll see. Moving on to week 5, we got another team that I warned us about last year, but nobody listened to me. It's the Carolina Panthers. Now they're coming to Detroit. They're coming to
Carolina,
Detroit, where we control the field conditions. Bobby, what do you think about the Panthers?
The interesting, my mom, she said she wanted to go to this game. My mother is a avid football fan. Her nickname is Cindy Panther Life. My mother's name is Cynthia, so football is life with her. This may be a game I'm going to. So, but yes, similar with the Seahawks. We owe them. We owe them big time. This is they are officially one of the reasons why we didn't make the playoffs. So I am highly motivated to even watch this game. See, because these, beating guys you lost to last year kind of shows you where the team has improved, especially with them being the guys that kept us out of the playoffs. So this is a revenge game. I hope I see us being better than them because they got a rookie quarterback themselves. So I don't know. Isn't that where DJ Shark went to? He went to Carolina.
DJ Shark is there. They also have some other talented players as well.
Deuce there too. Coach Deuce there too. So I I just stopped. They better not let DJ Shark go off because that's going to be interesting in the media itself.
So
if he playing, because you get hurt.
Right, I'm gonna say that's if he fucking plays.
So my thing with the Panthers is I'm curious to find out who is the starting quarterback when they come to Detroit, because obviously I believe that it will most likely be Bryce Young. However, Bryce Young is not the only quarterback that they have, although he's been the one that everyone's been talking about. They do have Andy Dalton on the roster, and depending on how patient they want to be with Bryce Young, he might not be the opening day starter. But I'm kind of teetering on whether or not I believe he'll be the starter or not. I think if it is Bryce Young, the good thing for us is it's a rookie within the first 5 weeks of the season, which means he's seeing everything out there. A lot of times with rookies, they'll try to give them one thing to look at. Okay, here's the one thing on this play that you need to look at, because they're not ready yet to do all the things that they're going to be asked to do in future years. But no matter whether they get told that or not, they're looking at everything, and they have opportunities where they get confused or they believe in their arm a little too much, which is good for our secondary. So I'm thinking if it is Bryce Young, I'm not really concerned. If it's not Bryce Young, I'm not concerned at all. That's kind of how I feel about it. I think that's another one that we definitely should win. But I'll be interested to see who's the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers by the time week 5 rolls around. Week 6, we're going to be at the Buccaneers. And actually, I don't know if I went to Nate on the Panthers game. So Nate, real quick on the Panthers, what do you think about that game?
I mean, we should win. Hell, if Andy Dalton starts, I might just go to sleep. Like nobody's wasted more talent around them than Andy Dalton has in his entire career. Like that damn ginger snap. Like it's a wrap for him. So, yeah, I'm not really concerned about Andy Dalton. Bryce Young with his scrambling ability, yeah, but you're still talking about a rookie, beginning of the year. And like we say, truth be told, if Bryce Young doesn't kill it in the preseason, Who says he even starts at all? So I think that they're going to be safe with him. I don't think they're just going to throw in the keys to the city because that puts them in a real bad situation. So, but it's a game we should win. Hopefully they learned a lot from that fucked up shit we did last year and go in there, get the win, kick their teeth in, and then we don't have to talk about the Panthers no more. You know, God bless Deuce Staley and his mom. Hope everything's going well. But I'm not concerned about the Panthers, and I hope that doesn't bite me in the butt.
So moving on to week 6, we're going to be at the Buccaneers. That's another one where they don't really know who their quarterback's going to be yet. They got Baker Mayfield. They got Kyle Trask. And I will say that Kyle Trask is somebody that I've always liked. I thought Kyle Trask was a good quarterback in Florida. He had a hell of a game against Alabama in the SEC championship game his senior year. If you haven't seen that and you just love football and you don't really care about the teams, go watch that game. He did lose the game, but he had a hell of a day throwing the ball to Kyle.
Hey.
It was a good one. But as far as at the Buccaneers is concerned, I don't really know. I mean, I will be curious to see how the Buccaneers are post Tom Brady. Because with Tom Brady, they always believed they could win every single game they were in. Will they have that same belief if it's Baker Mayfield or if it's Kyle Trask? I don't know. But at Tampa Bay, kind of a weird one, week 6. Bobby, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm with Tampa Bay. I'm always wary of Mike Evans. You know, he's a good receiver, man. He's somebody that can cause a lot of problems. But if it's Baker Mayfield or them, that's the only question mark. I can't really say it, but I want to count them as a win, but I also don't want to overlook Tampa Bay because they got a defensive minded coach. You know what I mean? We not the greatest show on turf, so we got to be wary of those defensive minded coaches because they, especially Ty Bowles, he's more of a blitzer type, so he can really cause havoc for our offense if we take them lightly. So I take it as a win, but I don't want to take them lightly though. I think we better beat them. So that's what I'll take it.
Nate, at the Buccaneers, week 6, what do you think?
That's another one, man. We go up against another, top 10 defensive tackle. T-Rex arms and all, but Vita Vea is a very stout guy in that middle. Eats up double teams. Shows good quickness. Yeah, we can definitely, knock the hell out of him, put him on his ass, and run right over the top of him. But again, I think that comes where we don't have any injuries. Our offensive line is clicking, and we doing what we do. I'm hearing a horn. I don't know if that's somebody outside or what, but yeah. So it's going to be interesting, but it's still a game that we do know that we should win. Again, I mean, if you lose to Baker Mayfield, man, then
you better hope that he doesn't wake up feeling dangerous. That's all I'm saying.
Man, the only dangerous he could be is trying to find that pink slip he got from the Browns after he did all them damn commercials.
Listen, here's the thing I will say, because just
like
Bobby defends Jared Goff, I will defend Baker Mayfield because I feel like Cleveland did him dirty. That's how I feel. I feel like Cleveland did that man dirty.
He had a top running game. He had OBJ, Njoku, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and Jarvis Landry, and he was throwing more passes in the dirt than Joel Zamaya from the Tigers after Tommy John surgery.
Okay, but here's the thing with Baker, all right? Baker came into a franchise that had won one game out of 40 before he got there. Yes, he had a bunch of people behind him and around him that were really, really good, and he took that team to the playoffs. and they gave Kansas City.
No, Nick Chubb. No. We're not even giving him that.
I'm not saying Nick Chubb didn't have a great season. Nick Chubb's going to end up being the all-time leading rusher for the Browns by the time he's done. No disrespect
Nick
to Nick
Chubb,
Chubb.
Myles Garrett, that defense. I ain't sold on nothing Baker Mayfield.
Okay.
Kareem Hunt, yeah, that's his backup.
But here's the thing. With Baker, the thing that Baker gets criticized for is the same crap that John Madden, when he was alive, would praise quarterbacks for. What I mean by that is when Baker got hurt his last year in Cleveland, he didn't shut it down. He didn't say, I need to protect my own investments. He said, no, this is my team. I want to go out there. I will put my body on the line for the guys in this locker room. And what's so weird about that is I'm old enough to remember a time where that type of mentality was celebrated.
It doesn't get you W's.
Nowadays, everybody's like, oh, well, you know, he should have just shut it down and protected his investment. So for me, I'm always going to root for Baker because I don't like the way that Cleveland did that to him. And then they went out and got Deshaun Watson, which I hope they never go to the playoffs again. That's what I hope.
You know what I remember this? You know what I remember him for from last year? Not beating Seattle when he was with the Rams. That's what I remember him for. He had one goddamn job, and he couldn't even do that job in the Browns, and he couldn't do the job with the Rams. So that's what I remember Baker Mayfield for. That and them shitty ass commercials.
Okay. Hey, I can't hate on the fact that yes, his play made it to where our team couldn't get into the playoffs. I get that. I understand where Lions fans are coming from. But what I'm saying is when he went to the Panthers, he was in a crappy situation where the coach got fired within 3 weeks, or not 3 weeks. It was like 5 weeks or whatever. He goes to the Rams, and it's not really the Rams. Like, let's be honest about that. It's like the Pee Wee teams that use NFL logos. Like, that's what he was playing on because Aaron Donald was hurt. All these other people were hurt. He was throwing to practice squad.
He won 2 games. Keep in mind, he had won 2 games before that. He had won them 2 games, and they went out there talking about Baker Mayfield and his resurgence, and he said, ha ha, fools go, I am what you thought I was.
No. Because he did that with practice squad wide receivers. And let's not forget that the Seahawks also had additional players out there that we recognize as referees. But anyway, I'll always root for Baker. I think this will be interesting, though, at the Buccaneers. I don't know if the Buccaneers believe that they can win their division this year. So it'll be interesting to see. Ravens, because I think I got everybody in on that last one. Bobby, you said something about the Buccaneers. So did you, Nate? Okay.
Yeah. I didn't say Baker Mayfield a bum. I should have said that. Throw that out there.
You're killing me. Week 7 at the Ravens. So I'll start with this one. I think you're going to see a big change in how the Ravens run their offense. Todd Monken obviously comes in from Georgia. I think you're going to see Lamar Jackson under center a lot more this upcoming season, running a more traditional style offense than maybe he has in the past. Because in the past, it was all about read option with Lamar. I don't think it's going to be as much read option now. I think Todd Monken's going to get bit by that bug that offensive coordinators get bit by, which is let's take the running quarterback and tell them that they need to learn to be a pocket passer. And I think the Ravens are going to be a different style offense this year. But when Lamar runs, that's when I'm terrified the most. Bobby, what do you think about this game? Do you even have a win-loss prediction on this one?
Man, it's going to be close. I can't guarantee we're going to win this one. I got to see. Because for some reason, like you said earlier, when we was talking about the Jalen Hurts mobile quarterback thing, and that might have been my brother Reggie. But I don't know. I gotta see. Because he got OBJ now along, OBJ, he's a difference maker. If they can get on the same page, no telling. So that's what I'm more worried about per se. But this is also if we the team we supposed to be, we should be able to beat any of these all of these teams on here. Not saying we should be undefeated. We should not. We should be able to beat all these teams. But it's always interesting to see what Lamar Jackson gonna do because he's the man right now. He's the highest paid player in the league. So that itself is exciting. So
Nate, what
that's
do you
pretty
think about
much.
the Ravens?
I got us.
Well, we're just gonna be honest. We lost on the field goal by
The longest
Justin.
one in history. The longest one in
Longest
history.
one in history. But let's be honest. Hollywood Brown had 3 drops that were surefire touchdowns. Our team is different than it was then. The guys on our defense are a little bit older, but also when we played them, they did not have that dude from the Bears over there, linebacker, right next to Patrick Queen.
Raycon Smith.
Yeah, so I think their defense is definitely going to be a lot better. Honestly, this is a game that I have us losing. I just think that the additions that Baltimore have made on both sides of the ball, along with Lamar, gives them an advantage. But this is the crazy part. These are the games that we go out and smack the hell out of them. So it's like, this is a game I'm not counting as a win, but if we do win, I would not be shocked because this is one of them where everybody picks us to lose. We don't match up well on paper. And then all hell breaks loose on the football field any given Sunday, and we go out and beat the hell out of them 40-13 or something crazy like that. So that's on my thoughts on that, Eli. That's what I got.
So week 8, we got the Raiders on Monday Night Football. That game is going to be, according to what I'm seeing here, in Detroit. I'll be honest with you. The Raiders are a coin to me, okay? They're a coin to me because I see this being one of 2 things for the Raiders. Either option A, the Raiders come out and they come to Detroit with a interim head coach because their other coach got fired by this point in the season. Because I could see that happening to Josh McDaniels. I could see him getting fired by week 8. Or option B, the Raiders are flying high and have only lost a couple of games. Either way, I think we win this game. But I think, like I said, it very well could be an interim head coach for the Raiders by the time we get ready to play them. Bobby, we'll go quick on this one because we still got some other games to get to. So, Bobby.
It's always exciting to play the Raiders, man, because there's so many Raider fans. Like, it's just, like, along with the Cowboys to me and the Pittsburgh Steelers and 49er fans, those fan bases are always deep or fun to play because they're a top team in the league, man. I mean, as far as fan base-wise. So beating the Raiders, I think we should be able to match up with them pretty well. I can't even remember who their quarterback is now. Oh yeah, the Garoppolo. So yeah, I think we can beat the Raiders. Devontae Adams is
I was
definitely
so
gonna be a
hungry,
problem.
man. I left you the fat though.
Yeah, that. So
No, I was just
okay. I'm so happy we play on Monday night, and I forgot about this game, so I have to make sure I request this damn day off. So even talking about this helps me because I will not be working that day. So go Lions, and we beat the Raiders.
Nate, thoughts on the Raiders game?
I look at it, well, just to throw a 9 and a 9-9, Bobby, I'm off Monday, Tuesday, so I don't have to take off for that. But it's going to be a homecoming game for Big Max. So it could be one of those energy things. You know, Max Crosby, played at Eastern Michigan, starred at Eastern Michigan. So you're definitely going to have to control one of the top young defensive ends in the league. You have to worry about Josh Jacobs. And then don't forget, man, they've got Devontae Adams. They have the premier route runner in the league over there. So it's going to be an interesting game. I think that's a game where we go on Monday night and we smack the hell out of people and let them understand that we are not SOL and put them on notice. You know, this what y'all gotta get used to. This is the new norm. There is no more blowouts. When we get on national TV, we get our chance. Y'all gonna recognize us. This is the new norm. This is the culture changing that people haven't been ready for, haven't really paid attention to. Like, these are not the same old Lions. Nuck if you buck, chump.
Week 10, we're almost there. Week 10 at the Chargers. I'll be honest, I never, ever, ever trust the Chargers. I just don't. I never think they're as good as people say they are, and I never think they're as bad as people say they are. They're just like lukewarm ice cream. They ain't good for nothing. That's kind of how I feel about the Chargers. Bobby, I mean, I think we'll win this game. Bobby, what do you think?
Hey, the Chargers are talented. To be honest, I've not watched them that much. I think I only watched Justin Herbert play like one, maybe half a time. So I'm interested to see them. But I know they got some headhunters on that defense. So this is gonna be one of the games we're gonna have to come to play. So I don't know, man. I think I counted this one as a loss.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think I do.
Nate, what do you think?
This is one of the game I counted as a loss as well. Like you say, man, they got some headhunters over there. The good thing is at this time, Jameson Williams will be back. So hopefully that's going to help our wide receivers. That's going to adjust the coverages. But again, they have one of the top young safeties over there in Derwin James. You got that crazy dude, Bosa, another Bosa on that defensive line. You got Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler. Like, this team, for some reason, has all the talent, but they underperform every year. So it's one of them games where it's truly a 50-50 because they underachieve every year. It's like, dude, you hesitate. Like, they could be favored by 20 and they'll lose by 20. So it's like, dude, I don't know. No, I don't know. But this one, we just going to leave to the football guys and let them figure it out. Because I don't know about this one.
See, I find it funny, though, that, like, on this one, I'm the only one who believes that we're going to get this done. Like, I'm over here calling them from ice cream, and you guys are like, I don't know, Elijah, I don't know. So I don't know. But anyway, week 11, we got the Bears in Detroit. Bobby Bless, I know how much you love the Bears. That's right. You snuggle up with your Bears blanket at night. Anyway, Bobby, Chicago Bears, what do you think?
Man, it's a Monday night game too?
No, that's just a regular game.
Oh yeah, man, 100 Lions. That's about it, bro. Shoot, they sorry to me still. I'm not impressed with the Chicago Bears. Yeah, I'm probably gonna get some lunch about my boss that day. That's about it, brother. They suck.
Nate, Bears, what do you think?
Lions by 30. Fuck them Bears.
So on this one, I think the Lions will win the game, but I think it is going to be all about containing Justin Fields. I think that's going to be the big concern. But we're going to find out if all that money they spent, was it worth it, or was it lipstick on a pig? We'll find out. By
lipstick on a pig?
Listen, you know how it is. Sometimes teams spend all this money in free agency, and these free agents don't do anything for their team.
This is okay. I was just throwing off with the lipstick on the pig. Okay, I got you now.
I mean, it's still a pig, even if you put lipstick on it. Anyway, we do have Thanksgiving game. That is going to be the Packers this year. Now, we'll start with Nate on this one. We'll go to Bobby, then Bobby toss it to me.
Well,
Nate,
on this one, we done gave my opinion on there. My daughter just got home. So, Ari, Thanksgiving, we have the Lions versus Packers. Who wins?
Lions versus the Packers.
Yeah.
What was their standings last year?
We beat them twice by a lot. She said, okay, Lions win. Look at
Bobby,
so,
what do you think?
Yeah. Oh,
I
me and
love
my
my
wife,
brother.
we going to that game. Yeah, we buy our next pay period. We buying them tickets. So that is gonna be my first Thanksgiving not eating turkey early in the morning. But I'm a
You just
I
better
can't
be
wait to
nice,
go.
because hey, listen, I want you to have a good turkey. I want you to have a very good Thanksgiving, Bobby. So
Well, they
that's
better
gonna be
fucking
a
win.
long ride home.
Well,
But
they better
listen,
win. It's always gonna be, but they that's better win when it is.
hey, but I
That's
promise you,
all.
if we beat them too bad, and Brenda, a Packer girl, don't want to act right, I promise I will take you home. You could come to the Rucker house. We will ride all the way back to Toledo in the Benz singing the Lion song.
Forward down the field, man. I don't care, man.
Forward down the field, baby.
I don't care on that one, man. We got this. We got this
So
whole division, man. All these teams in the
I don't
division.
think we lose a division game this year at
Yeah,
all.
they whack because we almost swept the division this year. We about to sweep the damn division.
that's right. That's right. So Bobby's got to get all his comments in before the internet gets turned off.
Huh?
Anyway, so my thoughts on the Green Bay Lions game. This one's kind of bittersweet for me. So my dad's a Packers fan. I'm a Lions fan, as you guys know, as you guys would hopefully know by now. Goodness gracious. But I've always loved the Thanksgiving game. I'm really hoping that we get another victory on Thanksgiving. It has been way too damn long since the last time we won on Thanksgiving. But I will not be watching this game, unfortunately, because I'm going to actually be on a cruise when this game is going on. And I shouldn't say unfortunately, because I'm actually very excited about it. I get to go on a cruise with my grandfather and get to spend some time with him, which I don't get to spend a lot of time with him because he lives in Georgia. I live in New York. So I'll be on a cruise ship somewhere, hopefully celebrating the Lions victory. We'll see.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So week 13, we're almost there. Week 13 at the Saints. That's when Jamal Williams is going to want to go march it in. So question, Bobby Bless, what do you think? Derek Carr, Jamal Williams, are we scared?
We let Jamal Williams go because we had other plans that were better at running back. So they better stop him. Period. Similar to what I said about DJ Shark. The guys we let go, we gonna smash them. So we ain't worried about Jamal Williams. Like I told y'all before, he broke Barry Sanders' record. He is not Barry Sanders, and he can do all that dancing he wants as long as he don't do it in the end zone after the touchdown. I do not care. Go Lions. Even if Derek Carr be the quarterback, because a lot of Saints fans I know not even really happy at him with him at quarterback. So even if he even be a quarterback, I'm interested to see Gibbs and Kamara go at it though. Alvin Kamara and Gibbs. Dan Campbell did come out and say that he's seen that Gibbs is like a Alvin Kamara, so I want to see that part. But other than that, I got that as a win. That's a win. So
Nate, Saints, what do you think? That's where some of your family takes up residence, right?
Yeah. But I think we still go come away with that, man. They just, I mean, again, you got Derek Carr. They do have Chris Olave, Michael Thomas. They do have some guys. They still have Demario Davis, Marcus Lattimore, Jordan, the defensive end. I'm having brain farts right now.
Cam Jordan.
Yeah, Cam Jordan. So they have all that, but like Bobby said, y'all, we not sweating Jamal Williams at all. He had 18 touchdowns for sure. But guess what? It was for 50 yards total. So yes, he was the 1 yard king. So we're not worried about all that shit. We're not. If you get 18 touchdowns and all those touchdowns, and they add up to 50 yards. Come on, man. Like for real. That was like refrigerator Perry for the Bears. Like, ain't nobody worried about that shit for real. Like, yeah, Jamal Williams was a very good guy, very good locker room guy, but we all know he was kind of weird. Him man, hey, look, him man has Naruto headband. Like,
hey,
so it's
do
okay.
All that dance and can't juke nobody. Do all that dance.
And so again, what we did, we upgraded. That was his fault. He should have fired his agent because you bet on yourself. Now, there's nothing wrong. I would never, ever be mad at anybody for betting on their self because, number one, nobody's going to believe in you more than you are. So that is a great thing to believe in yourself. But it is a foolish thing to have somebody let you know, like, my man, listen, if Bobby tell me right now, but Nate, listen, the Lions got open tryouts and I'm going, I'm like, Bobby, you know you my man's, right? If you don't sit your ass down and go get you a goddamn Fire Stick remote.
Man, you better come get you better come get me that straight jacket, boy.
Hey, but that's what I'm saying. Like, so that's his fault for not having the proper guidance to tell him, listen, take what these guys is giving you. Because the only thing you did was give us a better back who is more efficient. Both of you, he's going to force more missed tackles than you did. You talking about a 1-yard king. Like, truthfully, I see David Montgomery breaking Jamal Williams' record of 18 touchdowns because he can score from, 80 yards to 1 yard. Like, that's just how good, and the Bears fans are mad about it. But that's a luxury for us. So, Saints, hit the toilet, dog. Family, I'm sorry. Y'all get that L.
Elijah, I got a mean handoff. So
listen.
Yeah,
if you were to tell
Nate Stratfield, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you.
Hey, listen. You better be handing that goddamn drill to your assistant to mount some TVs is what you better do.
If Bobby told me that he was trying out for the Lions, okay, I would support it. Now, if
hold my beer,
but I'm gonna tell him no.
If he told me that he was gonna play for the WNBA's Toledo team, I would just reckon that he's gonna score 59 points in his first game. Let's just be honest. He's gonna be out there working on everybody.
Listen, I'm gonna support him, but in the meantime, I'm going to be inboxing Brenda, telling, hey, I don't know what weed you've got him smoked, but you better take it away from him.
I bet I can throw this ball over that mountain.
Hey, listen, Bobby will tell you. Hey, I have, from the moment me and Bobby met, I've seen so much in Bobby, from his personality, from his willingness to learn, to picking up different type of offenses and defenses. I'm the one told him he'd be a good damn coach, and he went out and became a football coach. So, I will always support him. I'm gonna be honest as shit though, but I will always support him. Bobby, sit your old ass down and don't be trying no goddamn lie.
But I ain't trying to be stupid, boy.
Cause I swear to God, I'm gonna have to let you have it.
Yeah, man, fuck that. Just that alone.
I'm just trying to get Bobby some legitimate land here in upstate New York, because cannabis is legal up here. That way he can start he can start his church finally, called the Holy Rollers.
It's legal.
You know what? I'm so done. Not the Holy Rollers.
It's legal in Michigan too.
And And he's going to start a salad bar because, he cares about people eating healthy. He's going to call it the devil's lettuce. Anyway, let's go to the next
no
game
vegans
here.
allowed.
No vegans allowed. At the Bears, I feel like we should skip that game and move on because we've already said.
Yeah, I wish I could flush the toilet or something real quick just to honor the Bears for how I feel. But
did you say flush the toilet?
Flush the
toilet. You got to be the second time that year with that nugget to be all the way flushed.
See, my cheesiness is starting to rub off on Bobby because Bobby's getting some corny ass jokes like I do. So anyway.
Yeah, let's talk about some goddamn flush the toilet.
Holy rollers.
We done.
Anyway, the Broncos are coming to town week 15. Are we concerned about that, or we think
No, we beat the fuck out of them.
You think so?
I would know for sure by then because I don't underestimate Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, man. Russell Wilson, I feel like he got a real guy that can if Sean Payton can make Jameis Winston somewhat good for a hot second, I'm pretty sure he can
still
get
went 30
for
for 30.
But look though, he still threw 30 and 5,000 yards though.
Yeah,
so the ball was
but listen, he did a goddamn Matthew Stafford. He threw 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
But they got a defense though.
30
got a defense.
30 enter.
But I'm talking about Russell though. I don't know by week 15 of next year if we need to be worried about it. Right now, I'm gonna say no. But
they got three guys on that defense. It's only three. Fuck the rest of them.
I don't know about them. So I don't know about them. I just don't know about them.
Here are my brief thoughts, okay? Most people, and I would encourage folks that are watching this episode right now, whether you watch it live or you're watching it later, follow me on this exercise. Go to somebody who knows football but does not know football as well as you do, okay? And do me a favor. I'm being serious about this. Ask them who some of these famous coaches who are known for coaching for one team, ask them and see if they recognize any of the other teams they coach for. Because if you went up to somebody and you said, Jimmy Johnson, everyone's going to say the Cowboys because nobody remembers his time with the Dolphins. If you said Mike Ditka, people aren't going to remember his time with the Saints. Bill Parcells.
Yes, they do because he traded his whole goddamn draft for one player.
You know what though? Like I said though, try this exercise out and see if somebody does. Because I guarantee you, I could ask the people I know, they would not remember that. They would not remember that. The point I'm making is when you get a Hall of Fame coach, when they come back that second time, it's hardly ever as good.
It's normally dog shit.
Joe Gibbs, he won the Super Bowl when he came back.
For who?
Not Joe Gibbs. No, not Joe Gibbs. I didn't mean Joe Gibbs.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, what the hell are you talking about?
Not Joe Gibbs. Damn, what's his dude's name?
For who?
No. I was thinking of somebody else.
Yeah,
it was good. I was thinking of Joe Gibbs, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. I forgot. But he did do decent when he came back.
Because for me, I'm thinking about like when I grew up watching football, Bill Parcells being a part of the Cowboys, that was a big deal. But that wasn't the team that everybody remembers him from either. So I just feel like with Sean Payton, he's either going to go out there and he's going to solidify himself and people are going to say, wow, remember his tenure with the Broncos? Or he's going to be
oh my God, Luna.
Or he's going to be like every other Hall of Fame coach where he comes back and realizes maybe I should have just stayed retired. But I think we'll know, Bobby's saying, we'll know by week 15 whether Russell Wilson still has more bathrooms and touchdowns as the Denver Bronco. We'll see. Week 16, it's going to be at the Vikings.
Finally, huh?
What do you think, Bobby?
This our division. We gotta beat them. We did pretty good against them all last year, except for about a 2-minute spurt or something.
Stop.
We gonna sweep. We sweeping the whole division. We gonna beat them. They the champions. We gonna sweep the whole division. Everybody in the division is getting swept, and Minnesota is just going to be a part of that. But I am interested to see if Kirk Cousins still going to be the quarterback by then because they don't like him. They ready for him to get replaced. So I don't know who's going to be replacing him, but Kirk Cousins when it's time to get some money, he ball out. So when it's time to get some money, that's when you see the best of Cousins. So I don't know.
So what you're saying, Bobby, is that everybody who works retail, you work with a whole hell of a lot of Kirk Cousins.
Oh, for sure.
Oh my God, that was awful.
Man,
come on, hey, that's true
look,
though.
dude.
It's true. You got a bunch of people who don't show up until the boss is around. Then all of a sudden they're doing shit that you're not even supposed to do. They're like,
oh yeah, exactly. They won't even move.
That's true, but it was still awful.
So I should mention before I toss this to Nate, that week 16 game at the Vikings, that is a Christmas Eve game. Again, that is a Christmas Eve game. So for me, I think that's an automatic W because unless it's 1 o'clock, Kirk Cousins don't show up. It's like Cinderella. He's got to get home from the ball. Anyway, Nate Rucker at the Vikings Christmas Eve. What do you think?
What'd you say, Luna? Do we win? Oh yeah, we beat the hell out of them.
Okay.
Like literally, I don't think we lose a game in a division. Like
Okay.
we lost one last year. And that was even with Aaron Rodgers. Like the quarterback play outside of golf, it's truly no match. Like I literally think we dog walk our division. Take ourselves and we host our first playoff game in so many years. But I'm not worried about nobody in the NFC North at all.
Okay. So I already said that I thought we'd win that game. Let's move on to week 17. That's going to be at the Cowboys. That is Saturday night football. Excuse me, Saturday night football at the Cowboys. By this point in the season, I would say that either the Cowboys are going to be riding high or they're going to be hanging on for dear life. So, Bobby Bless, which one do you think it's going to be? A good Cowboys team or a Cowboys team that's just barely hanging on?
Yeah, like I said before, man, them one of the guys that beat us last year, so we got to beat them. Possible playoff preview, all that kind of good stuff. So we're gonna have to beat Dallas and give them that payback for being like all because we literally last year missed the playoffs because of one damn game. So all the teams that we lost to, they need to be W's this year. So hey, we better beat them. Dallas is always overrated to me. So I figure I see us beating them.
And that's your dad's favorite team, right? The Cowboys?
Yeah. But my dad, he'll call it how it is though. He don't like for the Dallas Cowboys. If they playing like bums, he'll bet against them so damn quick it don't make no sense. So depending on how Dallas is, I don't care what Dallas got going on. We should be able to beat them. So, and I don't like Cowboy fans either. So, it's all
they're cowgirl.
All good.
Nate,
they irritate me.
How do you feel, Nate?
That's a shaky game, truthfully. That defense, I don't think we match up well with the Cowboys yet. I actually have that game as a loss. Not by a lot, but I think we lose that game. I think the Cowboys are more complete throughout every skill position. And then on that defense, you have DeMarcus Lawrence, you have your defensive tackles, you have Parsons, you have Van Der Esch, then on that back end and that secondary. But they're another team just like the Chargers. Super talented, but they underperform. So when it comes to Dallas, I think it just really just depends on what you catch. Do you catch them after a win or do you catch them after a loss? That's how I look at Dallas.
Okay. Well, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to the Cowboys, like I said, I think you're going to get one or two Dallas teams. Either they're going to be struggling to get by, or they're going to be out there, feeling pretty good about themselves. So we'll see. We'll see what happens as far as that's concerned. Luka activating Gator mode. I'm taking shit. Anyway,
you saying that?
I did see that. I don't think anyone else did, but Luna went after Nate just now. She said, Gator don't play no shit.
Did me right in the fucking lip.
Gator wants her gat. Anyway, so with that, we will close out our schedule preview, and we are going to go to closing remarks here. Nate, we're going to start with you first. Closing remarks, my friend.
I think I need stitches. Say no. I think that for the first time in a while, we have to live up to expectation. We haven't had. You jumped your crazy ass. What is wrong with you? Man, she jumped off the couch. I don't know what's wrong with y'all niece dog over here. I don't know what's wrong with her. She's tripping. She just swan dive, did a cannonball off the couch. But we have to live up to those expectations right now. Even Vegas has us winning our division, making the playoffs. So, this is a time to where we have to show that the culture has changed. We went from 0 primetime games to 4, and a possible 5, depending on where our rankings are. So within those last 2 games, they have us as a possible Saturday switch. So shut up, Siri. So I got all type of stuff going on over here.
Oh my God.
It's gonna be interesting, man. But again, I got us 10 to 12 wins, hosting a playoff game, and doing what we're supposed to do for a change, being the favorite and winning. So it's not too many hiccups. Like, we don't have the easiest schedule, but we don't have the hardest schedule either. So, there's room for mistakes and growth inside the game. So I'm with it.
Bobby, your closing remarks, my friend.
Yeah, the optimism, like Nate was speaking on, we got stuff to live up to. I love the fact that we can talk about the road ahead of us, and with some of them losses that I predicted or wins I predicted, I hope with the losses I predicted, the rookies we bet that are going to be our real wild card. Maybe those rookies turn some of those losses into W's, and barring injury, I don't see a reason why we shouldn't be happy by the end of this schedule. So I'm gonna stay optimistic. I say about, if anybody understand my lingo, I say about 12, 13 hats next year. I'll be happy.
All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna close it out by being simple here, and I'm just gonna say we appreciate all of the support. Again, we've had 34 episodes now. We'll be working on a 35th for you very, very soon. Remember, if you want to know when we're going to be going live here on YouTube, you got to subscribe. That is the best way to know what's going on. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers. And just real quick, the reason why that's so important is because once we hit 1,000 subscribers, there's a couple other things we need to do too. But at that point, we can actually start making money from the podcast, which means that we can put that money back into the show so that we can do some of the things that we want to do. Like, for example, me and the guys have talked about doing a live show out there in Detroit so that everybody can meet each other. Because while I do Zoom calls with the guys, I've never actually been in the same room as the guys. And I know I would love to do that. So We can also do bigger prizes, things like that. But that doesn't happen until we hit 1,000 subscribers. And right now we are at 379. So it's not inconceivable that we would get there, but we need your help. So
We
please,
getting there, man. We getting there.
please
So
hit that subscribe button. If you've already hit the subscribe button, encourage others to do the same. We would greatly appreciate that. We also have a Facebook page. We also have a Facebook page on the Hunt Podcast on Facebook. That's actually gotten a bunch more likes lately, so we appreciate that. And we'll be doing some things on the Facebook page as well, so be on the lookout for that. But again, if you want to know when the episodes are happening so you can interact with us, subscribe. Because at this point, we're just getting live streams in wherever we can get everybody together. So that's kind of what we're doing during this off season. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up by saying this. For Reggie Funches, for Nate Rucker, for the #1 Lions fan, Mr. Bobby Bless, and for me, Elijah Winfrey, we all say to you.
bye, Luna.
And for Luna, we all say to you.
Not Patricia. Not Patricia.
And not Patricia. We all say the same thing. Hey, be good to yourself, be good to others. In that